All right, back on TYT Sports, Monday morning in the studio. We left off the playoff weekend recap coverage, the Bulls and the Celtics and the Thunder and the Rockets. Only 3 teams didn't take care of their home court, and one of them included to be the Boston Celtics. Yeah. Andre discussed this on Friday. I wasn't buying into it as much. I thought the Celtics, I think I was overhyping the Celtics and maybe underselling the Bulls when the matchup is closer than it appears, especially when Jimmy Butler does exactly what he did in the second half. My 2 favorite takes from this game, the constant need to remind people of something that did not happen. We already went through it. We already went through it as a consensus media 3 months ago. Yeah. Man, the Celtics should have traded for Paul George. Oh God, I bet the Celtics fans wish they traded for Jimmy Butler as Jimmy Butler is torching the Celtics in the second half. Yeah. Didn't happen. Stop with the dumbass speculation, because that's all it is. You can make that wish. Look, there has been countless amounts of, man, do I wish that team traded for that player. Yeah. It didn't happen. Therefore, you got to win with what you have on the court. But before we get into that, Francis, I'm sure you saw the news on Saturday, and it was the most heartbreaking thing I've seen. And I can't even explain as to why, because I have no relation to Isaiah Thomas. Yeah. It was just difficult to watch. Isaiah Thomas's sister, China Thomas, was 22 years old. She was killed in a car accident. It was said that she didn't have a seatbelt on, and it's speculated that she fell asleep at the wheel, according to police in Washington. And he got that news Saturday, and he played on Sunday. And the wrap up I wanted to give for this one, there's 2 things. Charles Barkley, what he was trying to say and what came out are 2 very different things. But if you really listen, there's no reason to shred Charles Barkley. It was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable for everybody as a fan, whether you like the team or not like the team, whether you like Isaiah Thomas or not. Nobody wishes that upon your worst enemy. But you have to ask yourself, what do you want to do in this situation? Do you want to feel like you're a part of this? There's nothing you could really do. Yeah. So watching Isaiah Thomas cry on the sideline, yeah, those tears were real, man. And maybe he wanted to play 3 hours and get his mind focused on one thing else. The fact of the matter is that he played extremely well, and he didn't answer to reporters afterwards. Obviously, his right to not take those questions, but it was uncomfortable, and that's all that Charles Barkley was trying to say. And people were like, "How insensitive? How this?"
No, I think Charles Barkley's words were they meant well, but like he gets the point across as for I think he was trying to understand who from being a teammate. Maybe you see one of your star players crying, it looks like his mind is not on the game. So if you're a player with him, you might begin to feel a little uncomfortable. You might begin to doubt that your team has what it takes to win that game. It was his way he worded it. Like the one specific phrase that he said is that's just not a good look for him. I think he could have made that a little bit clearer, because that makes it seem like he shouldn't be doing that when he has every right to like, we can't control our emotions, man. Like if you lose a sister, you lose a sibling, you lose a family member, sometimes it just comes out without you even being able to control it. Like I can't sympathize with him, but I remember when I lost a grandparent when I was out here, it didn't hit me necessarily at the right time, and it was like a day later, and I was doing something just normal every day, and then it started to pour out. So these things just happen. Some people use it as fuel to motivate them. I think Isaiah Thomas did a fantastic job to be able to keep it together and play very well in that game.
Remarkable.
They've cited a couple of examples in the Washington Post. Sorry, Brett Favre played on the Monday night after the death of his father, and then there was another one they talked about with Tiger Woods when he played 2 months after his death. I think that's a little bit of a broader example. He had some time to recover, but I think the only person that can make that decision is Isaiah Thomas. Like if you're the coach and you try to tell him to sit it out, it's not going to help. If you're a teammates and you try to tell him to take his time, like he's the only person that understands. I think Isaiah Thomas is a mature enough player who's had a vital role in this season that he wouldn't jeopardize his teammates' chances if he didn't feel that he could have played.
I agree.
And I think that's the most important thing to take from it. It can be uncomfortable. It might not look like he's in the strongest mindset, but the guy went off in the first quarter. How many points did he drop? Was it like?
Well, there was. Here's the thing: fans and certain sports communities can come together and hopefully make you feel a little bit better, given the drastic and terrible circumstances that it came under. The guy's grieving. We all handle it differently. Can't tell Isaiah Thomas how to feel, how to do, what to do in this situation. But when he goes to the foul line on the first when he gets that foul call, you get loud MVP chants, and then he goes behind, like through the legs to Avery Bradley and then back for like a 30-foot three. It's like, I mean, look, that might have been the loudest Boston Garden's ever been before.
Yeah. Because
they're all with Isaiah Thomas in that one, in that certain scenario. The intro and stuff like that, Avery Bradley's been with him since AAU basketball, as good friends, so they showed a lot. I mean, look, it's newsworthy. I understand why they do this, and they showed a lot of Isaiah Thomas, crying before the game. We have some of the tape here from, I think, CBS Sports, also the NBA and ESPN.com.
From earlier today on the floor at the Garden in Boston, Isaiah Thomas consoled by his close friend Avery Bradley, still trying to cope with the tragic loss of his 22-year-old sister, China, just yesterday. And a moment of silence here at the Garden, and tears streaming down the face of Isaiah Thomas. He will play, and moments ago, he was introduced to the home crowd.
5'9" from Washington, number 4, Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, it's that. Look, I was watching with a couple of friends at the bar, and I actually looked over him and said, like, I want to cry.
Yeah.
I don't know, that sounds weird. It just was hurtful. Like, I couldn't imagine. I have a lot of sisters, man. I couldn't imagine if any sibling, any family member. Here's the thing, I don't have that kind of strength. I know that for a fact. Yeah. If I was an NBA player in any situation like this, I'm not playing that game. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can hold myself together for 4 quarters, let alone score 33 points.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of NBA players and a lot of professional players, it becomes something that's therapeutic for them.
Yeah.
So most of them have been doing what they're doing since they were children, since they were little kids. And especially when you lose a direct family member, mother, sister, brother, father, it's someone generally that was around during them doing and practicing what they became professionals at. So I think for a lot of them, it becomes therapeutic to get back on the floor and kind of do something that he may have done with his little sister. Definitely had his little sister proud of him for,
Yeah, and I think that's actually a great point that Charles Barkley, when you don't take his first few comments out of context and go and tweet crazy how he's insensitive, and you listen to what he has to say after, he said the same thing. He said, it's going to be a relief to play because that's what it was for him. And again, the only way you can kind of understand is if you relate it to your own circumstance. Whenever I would have any run-ins with my parents' girlfriend, like any sort of thing, bad things going on at school, whatever, I would take a ball and I would go to the field. Like, and I'd play football because you just find a way to cope through doing something what you love. And it kind of, my old coach used to always say, as soon as you step over that 6-inch line, everything else becomes redundant. Everything else.
Sideline?
Football line. Sideline. As soon as you step over it, everything else becomes redundant, and it's just you, your teammates. And it's amazing because it does. You just shut. I've never tried to play from like 24 hours after a loss. I've played maybe 3 or 4 or 5 days after. But you just shut everything out, man. It's an amazing thing that you're able to just kind of engross yourself in the game, that you don't you block everything else out. But I think that's remarkable strength. Like, I'm with you. I think a couple of days after, maybe, when I've had some time to process, but that raw feeling, only being 34 hours, it's rough.
Yeah, again, we send the best to Isaiah Thomas's family and, of course, the Celtics, and at least they're going to need to find a way to rally around IT and the rest of the team, because as for what the Bulls did in the second half of that game, you got to be careful of what Jimmy Butler is capable of. There was some other very rash reactions, very irrational reactions to Jimmy Butler is the hands-down best player in the series. It's one game. There's a good chance that Jimmy Butler doesn't show up in Game 2 or Game 3. And I've said that because Jimmy Butler is a 66% of the time player. Every third game out of 3, he will slightly start to disappear. Now, his defensive ability makes him obviously still extremely valuable on both ends of the floor, but he could not miss. The Bulls dominated the glass too, and there's no excuse for that one. Al Horford's got to be bigger than he is down low, because he was getting bullied around in the paint on the defensive end, especially trying to keep any kind of rebound alive for the team. And as I pointed out, I think on Twitter at one point, when Isaiah Thomas comes up with a rebound sandwich between 2 7-footers, as an opposing coach, you have to be losing your mind.
Yeah.
Like, the ball could fall to you, but these guys still got 1.5 feet on that player, which means it has to get down below your ass before Isaiah Thomas can even grab it.
Yeah.
So in this case, you can't let Isaiah Thomas be getting any rebounds down low. In that case, same with guys like Avery Bradley. The backcourt can't be involved in the paint as much as the Bulls. They didn't really do it that much. That's my point. Is they were strong on the defensive. On the glass in itself. The leaders for them, by the way. I mean, Dwayne Wade very clutch in the last year. We've seen him make that shot time and time again. 3 minutes left, a step back for 2. You knew that was going in. Jimmy Butler at 39 and 3. And then you got guys like Bobby Portis. When Nikola Mirotic has disappeared for the entire season after having a phenomenal rookie season coming out of Spain. I think he played for Real Madrid Basketball Club. Guys like Bobby Portis really stepped up and went 8 of 10 from the field. So those are the big things with that one. Who knows what to make of Rajon Rondo, man? He was taking threes at points. I have no idea what Fred Hoiberg's plan for Rajon Rondo is. He's just there. He makes some brilliant passes. I don't even know if he's happy or if he's sad.
I don't think you ever know with Rajon Rondo.
I have no thoughts on Rajon Rondo. I have no idea. As for the Thunder and the Rockets, that one's actually
It's a blowout.
It's even more simple. Harden averages like 7.5 turnovers a game, right? So if Harden's finishing with 2 turnovers in that game and you can't force him to make mistakes, you're getting blown out every game in that series.
Yeah.
It's not going to continue that way. Russell Westbrook had another one of those 6 of 25 shooting nights. But the bigger, there's two bigger conversations here. One, man, sometimes the commentary. I'm curious what the audience thinks about this. When commentators say, you know, it's Westbrook versus Harden, but this series is going to come down to the role players and who can make better use of them. They act like basketball has always been a game of one superstar.
Yeah.
We've been over this time and time again. LeBron can't do it by himself. Durant can't do it by himself. Michael Jordan couldn't do it by himself. Kobe Bryant couldn't do it by himself. Russell Westbrook and James Harden are no different. They cannot do it by themselves.
No, and it was a valid point because Russell Westbrook looked at the start of that game that he was just going to do Russell Westbrook things, and I thought that the decision maker was Beverley for the Rockets. I thought he had a phenomenal game.
He was.
And he was, I think he used, did you see Steven Adams' body check, shoulder right into his face? I think he used that as motivation. He looked pissed after that. And he was relentless. He made the right decisions at the right time. And I thought that allowed James Harden to kind of take control of the game more so. So that's where I think that, yeah, you can, for your headlines, you can make it about the 2 transformers battling together, Harden versus Westbrook. But the role players will always be a vital point.
Of course, it's just like a blanket statement. So I'm just amazed when they're just like it's not one-on-one basketball, guys.
Yeah.
In the Steven Adams case, I think he's really excited about the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
He literally body checked him. But you know what that means? It means that Patrick Beverley was working.
Yeah.
Patrick Beverley and Draymond Green. When I think the Rockets play the Warriors, I'm not going to count out the Thunder just because of one series, but if the Rockets play the Warriors in a series, those two might just have to throw, like there might have to be like after game, whatever, 4, 5, 6, or 7, they might have to be like on the McGregor-Mayweather card is Beverley versus Draymond Green, because they are going to be going at it. Beverley is phenomenal in that game, and at points this season, he's been nothing short of that. He's an enforcer, a small enforcer. He's very pesty when he's hitting threes and he's turning towards the crowd and he's getting pumped up. Again, similar to Draymond Green on the defensive end. I mean, Draymond Green, what he did, he was the first player ever to put up the stat line he did. And defensively, it was a showcase and pretty phenomenal. And we already talked, I did the whole thing about the Warriors and the Blazers, but were they going to score 95 points from Lillard and McCollum to get a win?
Yeah, that's bananas.
It was insane.
Bananas.
I'm all about Patrick Beverley. I'm all about the commentators and their asinine comments at times. It's not about, can't do it. Oh, that was the last quick thing. MVP is a regular season award. It does not matter who wins this series. If you thought that Harden was the MVP before this series, then he's your MVP. If you thought that Westbrook was the MVP before this series, then he is your MVP. You can't use this to justify anything because that's not how the process is supposed to work.
There's only one person who knows how to process it.
Joel.